Hey everybody, Edo here, and this is Tic Tac Toe. This is going to be live on Kickstarter, and this is all a prototype. This game was actually developed by a math teacher, and is sort of like a multiplication take on Ultimate Tic Tac Toe, okay? So I've got this giant Tic Tac Toe board, which is 9 spots, then each of which have 9 within them. And in addition, you have giant X's and O's, which I'll get to in a second, and then small ones. So you're going to be working on the boards. If somebody takes one of the boards with their pieces, X's for example, then they get an X, and then you're trying to win on the mega board. It's also the case that if you like tie, or there's a special name for it, but like if you have like where you like no one wins on the tile, then essentially you get you both win. So that the game isn't just endless and generally speaking comes to a conclusion with a winner. The way you play tiles is novel and mathy, but you know basically what you have this little 1 through 9 board here, and the first player is going to place a marker on it, and then from there that means I've played the 7. And I can then so basically, other than like the first move, basically at any given time there'll be 2 numbers selected on this board, and basically you're going to multiply that. So if I have 7 times 3, that would be 21. 1 times 5 would be 5, and then when you do that, you are able to play on all of the different products of those numbers. So 1, 5 would mean I'd get to play on 5 here on the 1 square, and then also 5 on the 5 square. So this is like multiples of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there isn't that many you're going to get when you play a 5, but well, I'd still do this. But if I got I don't know, like 20, is 20 a good example? Sure, 20. I'm trying to think of like a really good example. What is it? Well, okay, let's say we did 12. So that would be 3 times 4. I got 12. Oh, and you can't move both. You have to move the one that wasn't last moved. So if that was like 1, 5, got you the 5, and then somebody did 4, 5 is 20, and then somebody did 4, then 4, 5 is 20. 1, 5, let's say someone then moved the 4, the 5 to the 4, they got a 4. Then the next person could move the 4 to the 3 to get 12. If I got 12, I would play the 12 here in the 2 set, 12 here in the 3, 12 here in the 4, 12 here in the 6, right? So you can score in multiple boards at a time, and so there's this interesting dynamic, much like Ultimate Tic Tac Toe, where not only am I trying to figure out where I want to go to close off a different area, but you're also like, well, if I play on the 3 with the 4 to get 12, that'll be great, but then he can get 15. Or he can, basically how that person moves the next tile, next component. And I think you can actually move either of them. But the way you're going to move the next one on the numbers available, that's what's going to create your choice. It's a little mathy, like it's like, sort of like Prime Climb, where you're like, well, I'm doing math and playing with numbers, but it does reinforce what numbers are multiples of what, and it's actually like some plotting and interesting decisions around tic-tac-toe. I would note that like the board includes both the answer and the component, like 8 is 4 times 2, and it shows the numbers, and like it has an abundance of information, so to some extent you're just looking for it, and you can just look for the numbers. I think a math teacher might argue that that's still building strength in terms of repetition. I'm going to assume that, he made this game because he believes in the efficacy of it. But having said that, like, it's tic-tac-toe, it's Ultimate Tic-Tac-Toe, but it's an interesting dynamic, and it's something that you can play with kids, and there is enough little thought that you can sort of like play it with, an adult and still have some satisfaction out of it, but then otherwise it's tic-tac-toe. Still, always worth supporting education and new and interesting board games that pull some math and other concepts in, and this is Ultimate Tic-Tac-Toe. Hey everybody, Edo here, and thanks for watching Gaming with Edo. Reviews over here on this playlist. League and Insider videos over here on this one. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. But most importantly, play some great games. Thanks.